Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the official first podcast of the Tipsy Talker. I am your host, Mr. Tipsy, and today is Father's Day. So I think my podcast today is going to be about Father's Day, about kids, about family. So if you guys are ready, we'll get started. I do want to wish all the wonderful fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I know there are some fathers out there that ain't so wonderful, so they get no happy Father's Day from me. But the fathers that are out there that are trying, that are busting their ass every day to try to see their family succeed and to try to raise wonderful kids into this world, by all means, please accept this as a wonderful happy Father's Day. So, yeah, unfortunately there are dads out there that I don't know. To me, it seems like they don't want to be fathers, or they weren't ready to be fathers at the time, or they just don't care and they are selfish and they want to, just live their lives for themselves and get what they can get for themselves, and that does not make you a good father. That makes you a dad who had a kid, and my guess it was probably by accident, but you might have stuck around for a little bit and you're just kind of like going with the flow. Yep, you get no props from me on that one. No. I am I'm 49 years old, and I have 7 wonderful kids. The kids are not all blood mine, but they are all my kids. Um, yeah, believe it or not, I was 19 years old when my first kid came into the picture. He obviously isn't mine because he's 31 now. But he was 8 months, going on 9 months old when I met his mom, and I knew that I was ready to become a father at a very young age. So the fact that she had a kid did not bother me at all. Um, it was something that I welcomed. It was something that I wanted. I wanted to raise a child. Um, I think I longed for that because I never had a father. Um, my mom gave me to my grandparents when I was a baby, when I was first born, and she didn't want me because I was a boy. And my mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather raised me. However, my grandfather was a disabled veteran, and he was in and out of the VA hospital all the time. So it was pretty much just me and her. My uncle came into the picture here and there, and he would kind of show me like the manly things, like don't cry, don't be a puss, go fishing, go hunting. You know, he would show me all the manly things, and I kind of took that, but I didn't know what to do with it. Um, very limited, very limited love, attention, affection from any kind of like father figure. My uncle was the only father figure that I had in my life, pretty much growing up, and there was no affection there. It was all tough love. It was, this is the way that it's got to be. Stop being a puss. Stand up for yourself. Fight for yourself. Do this, do that. Be a man. And unfortunately for my kids, I started to raise them like that. I mean, I probably raised them like that way into the future. It was very hard for me to show them affection like that. To be there for them, to support them, to provide for them. Yes, that was easy. But the affection part was never there. Um, and honestly, I kept it real with them. Like I knew that was an issue. I knew that that was one thing that I lacked. I wanted to. give them, that love, attention, and affection and stuff like that. I just didn't. I didn't want to seem like a pussy. I didn't want to seem like the bitch. So I didn't. But I would tell them, like, look, this is how I was raised. I didn't turn out so bad. um, and that's the thing. When I was younger, it was all about growing up, being tough, doing your thing, being yourself, being strong. As you get older and as you start to have kids, you see the fun things that they do, the weird little things that they do. You sit back and you look at that, and mistakenly, you don't tell them how happy that makes you at that time. Now, when you get older, like I have, and you kind of let that tough guy guard down, and you don't really care so much anymore, it's easy for you to send them a text. It's easy for you to send them, you know, things on Facebook saying that you're so proud of them and you love them and you're glad they're around. It's easy for you to tell them on the phone and see them in person. It's easy. And now you kind of wish that you can go back and take it over again and show them that kind of affection. Um, so those are some things that I think about, when it comes down to how I was raised and what I passed along to my kids. Um, but 19 was very young for me to start out. Uh, but honestly, it did not really seem to go so bad. I mean, failed relationships, yes, but you know, I found somebody and we have raised our kids together for the last 20 years. So it's not so bad. Um, so like I said, I have 7 children. They're not all blood related, but they are all mine. Um, I have my oldest is 31, my youngest is 16, and I have 2 girls and 5 boys, and they are the greatest thing that anybody could ever ask for. Um, I know, like when some people say, "Oh, my kids are the best," other people look at that and be like, "Oh, bullshit on that. My kids are the best." So I'm saying that they're the greatest thing that I could have ever asked for. I didn't think in a million years that when I was, 15, 16, 17, that I would ever have a life like I have now with the love and support of family. Um, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. Um, all of my kids are working. They all have jobs. I would say all but one has a home. They're buying houses. They're living out on their own. They're supporting themselves. They're financially secure. None of them's been arrested or in jail or in any type of trouble whatsoever. I like to say that I've raised stand-up children. People who will respect other people, people who are friendly, people who are loving and caring and kind, and people who will be there for you when you need help. Those are the types of children that I have raised, and I can guarantee you that I'm not just saying this. I know that any one of my children, if a stranger came up to them and said, "Hey, I need help," they would more than likely help you out. They wouldn't judge you. They wouldn't care. They would want to know your story, and they would want to help you out. And I'm very, very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of the adults that they have grown into. Um, like I was sitting out there with them today. They all came up. Well, I had one that couldn't because he works third shift, and so he worked overnight, and he didn't get to bed till late this morning, and then he worked tonight, so he couldn't drive up here and hang out. I understand that. It is what it is. Jobs, life, careers, they all get in the way. I get it. So it doesn't hurt my feelings. Do I wish I could have all the children here all at once and hang out with them and laugh and carry on? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want that? Anybody would want that. Um, but if they can't be here because they're being responsible adults, I can't fault them for that, not whatsoever. So the one was not here due to having to work, and my other son is deployed, and obviously he could not be here for that. So all the rest of them, they all showed up. They all brought food. We all got together. We laughed. We talked, and that's what it's all about. That's my Father's Day gift, having my children here. I don't need fancy things. I don't need a new toolbox. Well, I'll get into that later. The toolbox. It was a birthday present, but I don't need on Father's Day. I don't need gifts. I mean, is it nice to have a gift? Absolutely. Who wouldn't like to have a gift? But that's not what I need. What I need for Father's Day is to have my kids here and laugh and talk and maybe make future plans to do something. Sit around, eat, have a beer, whatever. That's my present. That they're all here for me in that scale. That means a lot to me. That means more to me than anything. Um, and like I said, like I'm very proud of all of them. They're all doing their thing. So it's really nice to sit and hear their stories. Even if people on the outside think it's a general conversation, for me it's not. It's actually a story. Like, hey, I know work's been keeping you busy. What have you been up to? What have you done? So, they'll break out a story. Well, I was at work this day, and so and so said this, and so and so said that, and this, and ha ha ha. It's funny. It's like I sit back and I'm like, well, here's their lives. This is what they do. They get up and they do their thing, and they all have something different. They all have something different going on. One of them is my oldest is a manager at a major car company, and then my second uh, oldest is a security officer at a well-known plant. I'm not going to give out any names because it's not anybody's business where they work at. Just want you to know that they're good. Um, and then my daughter, and she's actually, let me go back here because my daughter is my second oldest. She is a manager at I don't want to say it's a fast food. I say it's a food restaurant. And then I have the security uh, guard, and then under him is uh, one of my younger ones, and he's an electrician at a pretty decent size plant. That, oh my God, those guys over there burn stuff down all the time. So he always has a few stories to tell, but he works so much he doesn't ever get to tell them. Um, and then the one that couldn't show up, he works retail, um, and he works a lot. And then the one that's deployed, obviously, he's not around because he's deployed. And then the youngest one, she actually worked today as well, but she didn't really feel too good, so she came home and hung out for a little bit as well. But they're all doing something. They're all out there, and they're all out there living their lives, and it's all something different. Like they didn't follow each other. They didn't say, "Hey, oh, you got the job here. Okay, let me get a job here." It's all something different. It's all, to me, it's big. It's all, everything I hear, I'm proud of you. Like, wow, you did that today. Wow, you got that accomplished. Wow, this is great. Like, good. Because they weren't raised with a silver spoon in their mouth. They were raised as poor as you could possibly get. Trust me on that. And I wished nothing but the best for them. I would bring, growing up with them and seeing them grow up and seeing them do their thing. Yeah, I gave them as much as I possibly could, which was 100 times more than I had, but that's not saying much because I didn't have anything. So they didn't have the big stuff that other kids had. You know, they didn't have all that. And I was glad to hear when they started to, you know, sprawl out and make their own memories and do their own thing and live their own life, that they were like, you know, hopefully they were saying the same thing that I said, where I don't want to live like the people before me. So hopefully they were saying like, I don't want to live like that. I want to be better than that, because that's what it's all about. It's all about making steps to make your kids better than you were. And that's what you want. You don't want them to be in the same boat as you. You want them to get on the sail ship and the big yacht, and you want them to drift off and do their own thing and be very successful. So that's, you know, that's why I'm proud of them. I mean, I'm proud of them for other reasons too, because I think they became great people. But just sitting here tonight and talking with them, um, it was just like, yeah, you know, like I'm very proud of you guys. I'm very happy that you guys are who you are and how you are and what you are. Um, and you know, in all fairness, I really don't say I really don't say it all the time. I mean, I'll reach out and I will let them know, you know, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you. Good job. You did a great job. I'm here if you need me. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you when something exciting is getting ready to happen. But it's not like I say every week, you know, hey, I just want to let you know I'm thinking of you. I'm proud of you. And I should do that. You know, it would be nice for them to hear, I'm sure. Um, you know, so talked a little bit about who they are, and that's what makes me proud of them and makes them individuals of their own. It's great, um, and I think I should start moving on to like letting people know like what does it mean for me to be a dad? What does it mean? Like you sit and think, oh yeah, I'm a dad. Yeah, I got kids. Yeah, but when you really sit and think about what does it mean, it's kind of hard. You know, like what it means for me to be a dad is so much. It's it's the pride that you get out of seeing your kids succeed. It's the happy feeling that you get when one of them pulls in the driveway. It's the phone calls that you get on your way home from work, just wanting to know how you're doing. The the emotion um, that comes along with it. Now, you don't sit there and cry all day long, obviously, but when you reflect back on what it means to be a dad, it's seeing your kids not only turn into great people, but they come back and they tell you how proud they are to be your kid. You know, they tell you, I love you. I'm always here for you. Thank you for having me. The it's the happiness of having family. It's the great feeling, the overwhelming great feeling of having so many kids do so well and then still find time to come and see you and be with you and take trips with you and hang out with you and love you, even though they all have jobs and they all have lives and they all have significant others and they have all this shit going on. They still find the time to come and say hi, to come and say I love you, to come and say anything to you, you know? Because I know out there in the world there are people who have kids and they run off and they turn to drugs and they get into gambling and they get into debt and they're homeless, and I don't even know if their families even look for them. They're just not around. Now I don't know their family story, obviously. Maybe they did their family wrong so many times, and the family's just like, that's it, I can't do it no more. You got to go. But damn, I don't even know. I don't even know if I could do that. I mean, if one of my kids fell down a hole, and was in trouble constantly, I would I would try to do my best to pull them out of that hole, and I would talk to them. I don't know how disappointed I would be though, knowing the children that I have. I can't even say that anymore. Isn't that funny? They're not children. Knowing what do you say? Knowing the adults you have, I have no idea. I mean, I just don't know. I guess you always look at them as a parent. You always look at them as your child. So having the children that I have, it would be very hard for me to contemplate a situation like that. It really would. For me, it would. I couldn't see them doing that. But you kind of got to feel bad for, people that are young and homeless and on the streets. And yeah, as a parent, you don't never want anything like that for your children. You want them to succeed and strive and go about their business and be perfect people, or the best people that they can be, because nobody's perfect. So yeah, I mean, what it means for me to be a dad is definitely family. It's the comfort, it's the love, it's the support, it's the pride. That that right there is is what it means for me to be a dad. Um, and to be there still for people who picked me. Like, I don't want to go into too much ish, like, I don't know, details about my family, because um, they know who they are, but you don't need to know who they are. Just know that I'm telling you that they're the bomb. Okay, every single damn one of them. So you don't like a tough shit. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I lost my track because I thought that was pretty funny. But you know, oh, that's what I was gonna say. They pick you. So my oldest picked me. To make a long story short, without going into too much detail, uh, his mom really never said anything about his biological dad, um, until he was a little older. But she was taking him to a babysitter, and unfortunately, it was a family babysitter, and the family told him that, hey, the tipsy talker, he ain't your damn daddy. No, he's not your dad. Here, this is who your dad is. And his mom and I talked, and she already said, like, when he gets old enough to know, she'll tell him, which I was fine with, because I'm not going to try to act like something if it's not. Um, and that day came. It came really early. I'm not really sure how old he was, maybe 7. And I stepped back and I was like, yep, that's what happened. Not really sure what you want to do. And he's like, well, you're my dad. Like, I don't really care about this other guy. You were the one that was here for me the whole time, so you're my dad, and I'm done with it. That's just how it's going to be. And I mean, the feeling that you get when you hear something like that makes you want to be the best parent that you could possibly be, not just for that child, but for all of them. So that that was like a turning point in my life, to hear that he knew that I wasn't his biological father, but it didn't matter to him, and he wanted to continue the relationship that we had. And it's been a very good relationship. Over the last 20 years, it's been a very, very good relationship. So that's one good thing I could say. I'm definitely big into, with it being, Father's Day. I'm definitely big into family time. Family time has gotten me so far as mentally mentally happy. Family time is just everything that I want. And honestly, as you get older, you wish you had more time. You know, the older you get, the more you understand that time is very limited. It goes so quick, and the older you get, the faster time goes. You look around, you see your kids, and one day they're playing on the swing set, and now they're driving cars and owning houses, and they have a family of their own. So you gotta cherish those moments. Like, those are all you have. You have to make the best of them. And when you're in your 20s, you really don't see it. Like, you know that you have something good going on, and in your 30s, you kind of like, okay, I got a family. Like, where's life going to take me? And then, well, how much time do I have left? Um, am I going to live a long life? Like, and you want family time. Like, that's what you want. You want cookouts. You want, you know, picnics. You want days fishing with your kids. You want holidays spent together. You just want family time, no matter what you're doing. I mean, you could be, driving to another state, or you could be sitting in your favorite fishing hole, having a stogie. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I actually enjoy that. And I am getting ready to go fishing here very, very soon, just so you know. I'll let you know how that turns out and see if anybody wants to go with me. Um, but family time is the best time, especially when you have so many kids. Um, I know that there are people out there that have one or two and are like, you know what, that's it, I'm done. Boom. Don't try to get me with nothing else. Which, hey, is great. If you can raise those kids into great individuals that respect people and love the land that they live on, and things like that, by all means, do your thing. But there's going to come a time too when those one or two kids are going to be on your mind all the time. You're like, man, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have said this, I should have said that. um, I'll let you know now, Mr. Tipsy here is definitely a world traveler. I've probably been to about, I don't know, 35 states, maybe 40. We travel a lot, and we have had the pleasure of taking uh, four four of our kids with us. Um, and we did a lot of traveling, so they were able to see the state, see different landmarks, see different things, do different things. And there are times that I sit back and I look and I'm like, I really, 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 really wish that I could have done that with every single one of my kids. Um, Unfortunately, I was not financially stable enough to do that back then. And honestly, I didn't even think about doing something like that back then. That wasn't something that was on my list. I never thought I was going to leave Pennsylvania. Um, Never in a million years. I thought, oh, this is where I was born. This is where I'm going to die. This is where I'm going to stay. Maybe I'll go to the beach here and there. I'll see Maryland or Jersey, but that's about it. Nowhere else. And that has changed as well. So I definitely wish that I could have done a lot. I wish that I could have traveled, because that's what I love doing the most now, with all of the children. I do. I sit and think of that all the time. And I'm like, man, that's just one thing that I wish I could have given all my children. And I tell them that, and I think they understand that. I mean, I know that the older ones kind of look at the younger ones, and they're kind of like, "Oh, you suck because you have it way too easy. Back in my day, Dad used to scream at us and beat us, and we couldn't get away with nothing. Now you little punks get away with every damn thing," which obviously is true because when you get older, you get a little softer. But I might save that for another podcast. Um, yeah, I just wanted to do this one tonight. Um, my family is kind of looking for one. And I will be honest with you, the equipment that I'm doing this podcast on came from my children. It was a birthday gift from all of my kids. They all reached out to each other secretly and got this for me. Um, and I think it's because they know that I like to talk. Um, I think it's because they know that I like to talk. I think it's also because they don't get to hear me as much. And I also think for some of them, it would be a nice thing to listen to if I'm not here anymore. To kind of like go back and listen and smile and laugh and, oh, I remember that. So I think it's kind of like an audio diary that they could have for years and years and years to come. Um, all right. So, yeah. With that being said, I guess I will wrap this up. And to be honest with you, I did not think that I was going to find enough to talk about for 30 minutes, but I already beat my 31-minute mark. So here it is. Um, I would like to do this a lot more, and hopefully I can. I definitely have a hectic work schedule coming up, and I'm not able to do what I want to do. Not to mention, I like to go outside and sit by the fire and do this, but I could not because it said that I didn't have no Wi-Fi. So here I am, trapped on my couch, being a tipsy talker on the couch. Now my tipsy talking is supposed to be done at the fireplace with a couple of brewskis. I'm not going to lie to you, I had the brewskis. I just don't have the fire pit. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up for now. If anybody has any questions or anything, if you would like to comment on anything that I said, please feel free. I just want to give a shout out to the kids who I know is going to listen to this and let them know it's Mr. Tipsy here. I am very proud of each and every single one of you. And thank you for coming up here today and making my Father's Day a great one. I will talk to everybody later. Have a good night.